Good day, gentlemen. I've been with my girl for over 5.5 years, and we've built an incredibly fulfilling and fun and secure and peaceful relationship. And the truth is, most men think they can't transform the relationship quickly, that it will take years to do anything, to achieve any kind of result. But the point is, you have just not been taught how to actually build a great relationship, how to transform your relationship from where it is now to where you want it to go. Because, have you learned about relationships in school? I haven't. No one else has. No one has really taught us. But if we knew how to actually do it, we could transform our relationship fairly quickly. Because the thing is this, man, we have all been brainwashed by romanticism to think that we just need to find that one person, that one soulmate. I'm calling bullshit on that. It is not true, because I found a great person, but it was still very difficult to actually build a great relationship with her. And everyone else experiences the exact same thing, right? And the thing is, my principle is, you need to find someone who's great, right? But then you need to build the one relationship with them. It's not about finding the one person, it's about building the one relationship. Now, anyone who tells you you can change your relationship completely in a few days is a liar. But what you can do, and what I want to do in this video by sharing 4 key lessons with you, is lay the groundwork. Because that groundwork can be done in a few days, and it will compound over the next few months and years to actually give you the relationship that you want. It will give you momentum that you can keep up by yourself. The truth is, most relationships fail because one or both partners don't believe it's possible anymore. They lose hope. And I want to help you fix that. I want to give you tangible results with this video that help you and help your woman believe again that it is possible. The first 2 lessons I'm going to share with you are more mindset lessons that are very, very important. They're going to completely shift your paradigm. But then the other 2 lessons, lesson 3 and lesson 4, are for you to actually take action. They're very tangible, very actionable, very, applicable to your life right now. By the way, if you hear cows eating and taking a piss in the back, that's because there's a cow 2 meters away from me here, but don't worry about that. So lesson number 1 is, the magic you've been looking for is in the work you're avoiding, right? This quote went incredibly viral when Chris Williamson said it, but it is so, so true. I have worked with so many men who want to improve their relationship, who want to transform their relationship with their woman. And with every single one of them, they're avoiding things. Whether it is having a difficult conversation, stating their needs, initiating sex, or something completely different. Every man who is not happy with his relationship is avoiding something. Now, one thing I've learned that I actually learned to be more productive and to get more shit done in my business, but that also applies to relationships, is the concept of resistance. I learned about this from Steven Pressfield, an author who wrote one of his books about this, right? This book is called The War of Art, not The Art of War. That's a different book that I've also read, but The War of Art, The War of Art, that's the book. And Steven Pressfield in that book talks about how whenever we try to change, our old self basically realizes, oh, if this person, if this guy actually makes this change, I, the old self, will die, or at least partly die. And so what happens essentially is, right, you want to start a business, or you want to improve your relationship. Your old self, in order to get there, has to die. But that old self is afraid of dying, and that is the reason why you are avoiding work, or why you are avoiding a difficult conversation, or initiating sex, or conflict, or whatever it might be in your relationship. You're avoiding the thing that would actually get you to that point where you need to be in your relationship. Right? And now you know probably why I'm talking so much about mindset, because if I don't tell you this stuff, then telling you have a difficult conversation has no impact, because you're not going to do it, because resistance will come in, and then fear or procrastination or just rationalization or other forms of resistance will come in and tell you, no, you don't need to have that difficult conversation. No, you don't need to do that, right? And will rationalize or make you fearful or make you doubtful, whatever it might be. So here's the thing, man. The work you're avoiding. I completely fucked the quote now. The magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. So do that work. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding? What am I avoiding in my relationship? And then realize that resistance will come in and will tell you, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Or, oh, if you do that, I wouldn't do that, right? Makes you doubt things, makes you fearful, makes you procrastinate on those things. Notice that resistance, that voice inside your head coming in, and just overcome it because you notice it. Now, lesson number 2 is a thing that I learned from one of my mentors. I actually brought him on as a guest speaker for my clients, for the men I work with, and he said something that really stuck with me. And he basically said, so many people have this full conviction that when they're in a relationship, and the relationship isn't going well, but they need to do some work on themselves, some healing work, right? Some inner work, that they can't do that while being in that relationship. And so this mentor of mine, his name is Ryan, said, you don't need to wait to get out of that relationship or until that relationship ends to do that work. You can do that inner work, that healing, while being in a relationship. And I want to really bring this home with a story from my own life. What happened a couple of years ago in my relationship was my girl got off birth control. And it completely fucked her hormones, which is why she got off birth control. But then when she got off, it fucked her hormones even more. And her body had to readjust, right, to not having those artificial hormones. And the thing was, she basically lost her period for 8 months straight as a woman who just turned 20 back then. Or 19, 20, I don't know exactly when. But here's the point, man. She completely didn't get her period for 8 months, which also led to her not having any sex drive for 8 months, honestly, even way longer. And that took a toll on the relationship, I'll be very honest with you. It was not fucking easy. We really had to take that step to actually work through this. And I had a lot of thoughts of leaving back then, right? Because I was like, you know what, I'm not really getting my needs met here. I'm not really happy in this right now, whatever, this, that. But then I sat down with myself and I realized, you know what? Let me actually work through this. Let me do my part here. Let me do as much as I can, because obviously as her partner, I have an influence over her hormones. Obviously, right? This was obvious to me, but then I actually looked into it and I realized, oh, I can actually affect this a lot. And so I did my part, she did her part, and we got over it. We went through this dip and came out on the other side. And here's the thing, man. We came out on the other side way better than we would have ended up if I just, for example, got with the next woman. By going through this dip together, it strengthened, not just like, it didn't just make our sex life better, but it made the whole relationship better, because we had to learn other skills through that to get through this dip. And that made this relationship way more successful and made me way better of a partner and of a man and of a human in general than if I would have said, you know what, let me not do this, let me break up. I would have probably ended up in the exact same situation with the next woman, because I wouldn't have learned the lesson yet. Life will keep bringing those struggles to you, and you know this, until you learn the lesson. Life gives you these challenges until you learn the lesson. And so, of course, if she wouldn't have done her part, right, if she wouldn't have matched my growth in that period, I probably would have still broken up, I'll be very honest. But thankfully she did. And thankfully I could help both of us through this. And we could both, together go through this. But the main point I want to drive home here is, you can do this work while being in a relationship. You can do this work that your mind tells you, don't do it, right? Resistance again. You can do that work while being in a relationship. Your mind telling you you can't do this while being in a relationship, that is literally resistance talking. So these two lessons, I just now realized this while talking, these two lessons actually fit fit together. You know, so many people say, I wish I wasn't in this situation anymore, because then I could finally do this inner work. But here's the thing, man. When you look at, for example, shadow work, the most effective time to do shadow work is when you're feeling those emotions in that moment, when you're in it. So you can not just do the work while being in that situation, you can go and use that situation to your advantage, because you're feeling those things, because your relationship brings wounds to the surface that otherwise you wouldn't feel. You can now work through this. And this is kind of the concept of anti-fragility that I've talked about in the past as well, right? We talk about resilience in the modern world so much, which is basically withstanding pressure, but then anti-fragility goes a step further, which is because of pressure, because of a negative influence, because of something negative happening in your life, you get better You don't get worse, you don't stay the same as when you're resilient, not reacting, stoic, right? You actually get better. You're anti-fragile. You get better because of something that hurts you. Because now you realize, hey, these are the moments where I can do the work. That's it, man. Now, real quick, before I get into lessons number 3 and number 4, the very actionable lessons, right? I want to quickly say, if you are a hardworking man and you are looking to transform your relationship into that peaceful, fun, respectful relationship where you feel so at ease, then I want to offer you my help. What I can offer you is a discovery call with me. It's a free call, but it's not a free coaching call. Essentially, it is a call where we talk about where you are at with your woman right now and where you want to take this relationship, how you want to feel, how you want the relationship to play out, how you want the communication, the sex, whatever to be, and basically whether I can help you get there. And if I can, I'll tell you what I have to offer, how that works, and you can just decide whether you want to be a part of it or not, right? So if that sounds interesting, you can check out the link in the description and maybe we'll talk soon. The cows are looking at me. They're like, what the fuck is that guy doing sitting in that field talking English? Being in Germany, right? These are German cows. What the fuck? Anyway, lesson number 3. We're getting actionable now. People say love is the most positive emotion, right? Here's the thing. People actually did a study called the Spain experiment. Not Spain the country, but SPANE. Look it up. And what they found out is there's one emotion that is actually 400 times more powerful, more positive than love. And that emotion is authenticity. And authenticity simply means that your thoughts, your words, and your actions align. And here's the thing, man. Your woman can see right through you when she sees that your thoughts and your words and your actions don't align. She knows who you truly are. She has this gift of feminine intuition that you haven't tapped as much into. Yes, you have a feminine side as well, and yes, you can tap into that, but you haven't as much, and it's not as natural for you. She most likely can tap into that way easier. And she has that way more empathetic ability that, for example, mothers have, right? She can see every little nook and cranny on your forehead. She can see every emotion portrayed in your face. She can literally read you like a book. And she will lose trust in you as her partner, as her man. If she can see that your thoughts, your actions, and your words don't align. Your thoughts, words, and actions. Sorry about that. Getting the order mixed up here. But it's the same thing at the end of the day. If those don't link up, if those don't line up, she can see that. And here's the thing, man. I struggled with this a lot in my relationship, specifically when it came to me wanting to work more than I did work, right? I have always just worked a lot, but my girl always wants to spend more and more and more time with me. And the moment I did spend more time with her, I was more dissatisfied. She didn't really connect with me as much because I wasn't actually present because I wanted to work. And it took some balls for me to overcome this resistance and actually just be honest and say, hi, I want to work. But then the moment I did it, she didn't like those decisions. She still doesn't like those decisions. After almost 6 years, she still just wants to spend as much time with me. But she loves those decisions. And she can love me way more because she can see that I am living my truth, that I am authentic. And on top of that, when I just say what I think and I act according to my words and to my actions, to my thoughts, I don't live in cognitive dissonance anymore. I am at peace with myself because I can see, hey, you know what? What I think I want to do, what I say I want to do, and what I actually do align. It's the same thing. And of course, it takes some fixing of your thoughts to actually do that, right? Like sometimes you just want to jerk off, but you probably shouldn't, right? Or you want to gamble, or you get the point, right? At the end of the day, man, here's the thing. Cognitive dissonance is a fucking bitch. And it really, really will take you out of who you want to be. It will take you out. You feel just distant to yourself. You feel like two different people living inside of you. That's not a good feeling, man. It truly is not a good feeling. So yes, it helps you directly, but it also helps your relationship when you are more authentic. Because, let me ask you this. Does your girl, your woman, often ask you, how are you, when she knows that you're perfectly fine? No, she doesn't, right? She doesn't. She asks you, how are you, when she knows there's something going on. when she knows that there's something that you are not sharing with her, that you're keeping to yourself, something you're avoiding. And man, she cannot trust you when in those moments when she says, "How are you?" and you know there's something going on and she knows there's something going on, you just say, "Nothing, I'm fine, everything's great." She cannot trust you because she can see he's not fine, but you say, "I am fine." How the fuck are you gonna trust that person? And on top of that, one point that I really want to drive home here is, if she still asks you, "How are you?" and she tries to actually get these things out of you, she tries to get down to the root cause, that means that she is still in. She's still all in with the relationship. The moment she stops asking you those questions, when she sees that you're not good, that's the moment where you should get worried. Don't let it get to that point. Don't let it get to that point where she doesn't trust you anymore and she doesn't even ask you, "How are you?" anymore. Don't let it get to that point, man. Now, lesson number 4 is by far the most important lesson in this whole video, because I always keep the most important lesson to the end of these videos, so only the men who are actually serious about transforming their relationship, only those get these lessons. So, this lesson is a heavy hitter. Just listen for a bit before you make your judgment. I want to start with 2 quotes from this guy called G.S. Youngblood. The first quote is, in this dynamic of your relationship not really working out, right? In this dynamic, you as the man might not be the problem, but you are the solution. And I'm going to couple that with a second quote from G.S. Youngblood, which is, a woman can't follow where a man doesn't lead. And a good leader, he doesn't blame. A good leader also doesn't shame. He doesn't become defensive or offensive. A good leader encourages growth and creativity. A good leader provides guidance, provides assistance, provides structure. A good leader. This whole Hollywood idea and this whole idea of like Disney and Hollywood and all this bullshit of the founder of companies or the leader in war not taking any responsibility is bullshit. The leader always has the biggest workload. If he's a good leader, he always takes the most responsibility. And the same applies to relationships. What you need to understand is that most likely her feminine side, that side of her that you find so attractive, so, sexy, so radiant, that side of her just wants to relax in the demonstration of your direction, in the demonstration of your mature leadership. And what I mean with this is, for example, when you tell her what you want to do and she says, "I don't know," she's actually telling the truth. She genuinely doesn't know. And also, she doesn't fucking care which restaurant you go to or what do you do on the weekend. She genuinely doesn't care. She doesn't care about the outcome as much as you do. What she cares about is relaxing in your presence. So the moment where you go from saying, "What do you want to do?" to, "Hey, we have these 2 options. I would like to do this. And what do you think?" Right? You still take her into consideration. Obviously, you don't become a tyrant, right? But you lead her towards, or you lead both of you towards what is actually good for you. That will shift everything in your relationship massively. That is mature masculine leadership. And man, it really will do a lot for your relationship, because then she can just hold your metaphorical hand and just go with you and know she'll be fine. When she has that level of trust in you, man, that will shift things for your relationship massively. You will feel great about yourself. She will feel great about herself because she can just relax and just go with you, go with the flow, and knowing she will be fine. Man, that will deepen your connection very heavily and very quickly. So please, for the love of God, don't be one of those men who is so afraid of saying anything to his woman that he literally ends up asking, "What do you want to do?" And she says, "I don't know." And then he gets upset at her saying, "I don't know," even though she's actually telling the truth. She doesn't know and she also doesn't care. She just wants to relax in your presence. Now, if you've come to the conclusion that you want to take this relationship that you're in extremely serious and you want to transform it massively and actually get to where you and her want to go, and you want help on that path, then I want to offer you my help. Because I've helped a bunch of hardworking guys actually get to that point where she is just so joyful and so radiant and so open and so loving and sweet, and he just feels respected and desired and loved and peaceful. And so If you're interested in getting my help, what I can offer you is that free discovery call that I mentioned earlier, which is again not a free coaching call. I don't have time for that. But it is a call where we can talk about where you are at right now, where you want to go with your relationship, where you want to take it. And then I can tell you how I'll help you get there. And you can just decide, hey, you know what, this sounds good. I want to be a part of this. Or, hey, this doesn't sound good. Fuck off. Have a good day. Whatever, right? If you're interested, you can click the link in the description. Fill out the application for that discovery call, because I have so many men wanting to work with me that I have to make like an application process, right? But if you fill that out and I think, hey, this guy is a good fit, then I will message you and we can organize the call and we can hop on that call and just see whether you are a good fit for what I'm offering. If that sounds good, click the link in the description right now and I will maybe talk to you soon. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye.